Hi everyone, so welcome to today's video. Thanks for joining me. Today we've got a juicy one, okay? This one is going to be, to me, it's going to be wild because I'm looking at the products right now on my desk and I honestly cannot even believe it, all right? So we're going to talk dupes. This is a brand that I recently discovered. I had a lovely subscriber mention this brand and loving one of their eyebrow products. So I started doing some research and pulling up their website to see what this brand has to offer, and I was shocked what I saw. I hadn't heard much about this brand except from that subscriber of mine who was so kind to let me know what she was enjoying from this brand, and I started looking at the products and I thought, wait a minute, I recognize every single thing just about that they're trying to dupe. But it is like dupes to where it's almost identical packaging, look. We're going to get into it, so grab a snack. I've got my coffee freshly brewed. It's early in the morning, and I'm ready to tackle this video. And P.S. and by the way, you may notice if you've watched my videos that my voice sounds a little bit kind of off. I am at the tail end of being sick. Back to school season means mama's going to get sick continuously. Yay, love that for me. Anyways, grab your coffee, your drink, your snacks, and let's go ahead and get started. As I mentioned, this is going to be a brand just about dupes. So the brand is called MCO Beauty. You may have heard of it. You may have seen it in your local Kroger stores. You can order their products online. They have a website for the US, and they are, from my knowledge, an Australian-based drugstore affordable line that is exclusive to Australia, but now has kind of made their way into the United States through Kroger stores and their US-based website. So you can find pretty much everything there. I will say the prices are pretty fair, just to kind of give you a little bit of information, some kind of tidbits to know before kind of pulling up the website and looking at their products. Some of their products are kind of equivalent to the drugstore prices that we see here in the United States. There are a couple things that were just a little bit above that $20 price point. So we're going to start with the primer, the complexion portion of the video. So I didn't buy an actual primer that they sold. I'm sure that they have several different options, but this one I had to try it. It's the MCo Beauty Flawless Glow product. And I may not even have to show you who they're trying to dupe, but we all know who this is, okay? They're trying to dupe the queen, the Hollywood Flawless Filter from Charlotte Tilbury. Even the packaging, I mean, how is this even legal? Like, how can they do this? The packaging, the writing. Mine on the Charlotte is rubbed off. I've had this for years. This is my favorite product from the line. And the MCo Beauty, obviously shade match is not going to be the same. The one from MCo, I bought 3.5 light medium, and then I have fair 1 in Charlotte. This is what I use year round because I have a tan. I decided to try MCo in a darker shade. The component is the same glass bottle. The twist off with the big doe foot applicator, even the doe foot is about the same size. I mean, it's all looking exact except for obviously the sticker label on the back and the front, but it's pretty darn close. And again, how is this even possible? So we're going to do the 3.5 light medium, and I'm going to try to see what this looks like just all over the face lightly to use in place of possibly a foundation. So we're going to go ahead and try this one out. So I'm going to apply this with a brush. This is just a NYX brush. This is the Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation brush that looks like this. It's a really nice, densely packed brush for buffing in foundations and product. What I love about the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter is that soft kind of glow that it gives to the skin. It can be a pretty intense glow if you put a lot of it on, but there's something really beautiful about the way it makes the skin glow, makes the skin look healthy, vibrant, like you just had a facial, you had the best skin ever. And that's the beauty of that product because it's light, it's thin, it's not like super sparkly or pieces of glitter that you can see in it. It's really a nice product. So I was very much intrigued by this MCo product, and I think that the shade is going to be doable for me. But as you can see, this half is the product blended, and it looks really nice, and it looks pretty much, wow, it looks pretty much the same as the Charlotte with that soft, really pretty ethereal glow without it looking super frosted and shimmery. You don't see any particles of shimmer or glitter pieces, which I can appreciate, and I do think that this product is really nice. And so far, I do think that this one, just based off of right now, this looks and feels like this one. It's wild, okay? It's wild. For concealer, I picked one that I could immediately recognize off their website, the Brighten and Perfect Cream Concealer. Let's go ahead and say it together. This is supposed to dupe the NARS Creamy Concealer. I have used the NARS one many, many years ago, and I remember using the wrong shade. I used Custard because that was the most popular shade at the time. Definitely wasn't a match, but memory serves me right. That concealer had really nice coverage and a really good blend to it. And it's one of their more popular, classic, old school products. It even has that soft touch cap to it and that same kind of squirt off clear component. I ordered shade Light 3 Beige, and looking at it in person, it looks quite dark. So it may be different once it's applied and blended, but the applicator has a small doe foot, and we're gonna try, yeah, this is definitely gonna be too dark. So I may have to add something to this to brighten my under eye. I'm gonna use my same method of application, which is typically a beauty sponge. This is just one from Real Techniques. And I'm going to bounce this in and blend this really quickly and just kind of see what this is going to provide as far as coverage. How does it look when it's blended? And it looks nice. It looks like it's a hydrating formula without it being too slippery and too emollient, but it's got enough hydration where you can easily blend the product and spread it nicely. And I think if I would have purchased maybe a shade lighter, I think I would have gotten a better match, but this is not terrible. So I will have to say this does have some really good coverage, and it's blending out really nicely, and I can tell as far as the coverage because I did have really dark circles. I've been really sick lately. The kids being at school now just kind of, it got me. That first week of school, I was down for the count. And I've had some really dark circles. I've been not feeling so great, and this honestly didn't cover everything entirely. I mean, you can still see a little bit, but I've got to be honest with you guys, and I'm kind of impressed. I'm going to add just a pinch more. I'm impressed. I got to hand it to them. It's good. This next product, when I saw it on their website that it was an option that they offered and they were duping this specific product, this high-end product is something that I absolutely love. I have a mini size of it, and I have been using it and loving it so much since I tried it. And it's a product that gives you that airbrush flawless finish when you apply it. I have not tried a powder yet that can do what this one does for me. So when I saw the Miracle Flawless Press Powder, okay, do we see who this tried? We already know. I had to try it. I had to try this Miracle Flawless Powder. Even flawless is in the name. I mean, they're bold. I had to hand it to them. They're bold. Even the whole compact looks pretty close. I will honestly tell you, the quality and the feel isn't quite as high-end as the Charlotte. Charlotte comes with a very steep price tag, but her products are beautiful. Her formulas are great. This is a mini of the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Powder, which is what this is supposed to be duping. And although mine is really small, the full size looks just like this, but larger, obviously, kind of closer in size of this one. The color's just a little bit different, okay? So they're trying to change things up just a bit. But I mean, come on. Let's go for the Ulta Beauty brushes, which I recently did a video on, and I have loved these double-ended brushes so much since I discovered them. If you haven't seen that video, I will link it for you so you can check that out. I'm switching to a smaller brush actually to do the setting powder under the eyes with an F32 brush from ColourPop first because it's smaller than some of my larger face brushes. And I'm just going to kind of press this right over the concealer to set it because this concealer will crease on me, as most concealers tend to do. And then I'm going to go to that Ulta Beauty brush and pick up some of that powder, and I'm just going to press this right through the T-zone. I do want to leave this area bare because I do have some other cream products, but I wanted to try this. This is probably the product that I was most excited for, this and the Flawless Glow. Those were the two that I've had my eyes on, and I could not wait to try because I thought, you know what? If this powder can do for my skin what this is doing, then I'm saving quite a bit of money. This is like closer to 20, whereas the Charlotte, I think, is like closer to 50. I think it's 48. So it's a considerable difference in price point. I think I'm going to try using a little bit of the powder with a powder puff just to kind of set a bit better under the eyes. I like this method for setting my concealer versus a brush. I feel like I get a much more flawless effect with my concealer, and just right here where I have larger pores, using a puff versus a brush, which is the beauty of these puff sponges. This one is from Sonia Kashuk. You can get them at Target. It's $5 for 2 of them, and they work so beautifully. I think I'm going to keep saying it. I'm impressed. You're going to get tired of hearing me. We should do a count. How many times do I say impressed in this video? Next up for brows, I ordered the Brow Fill and Set. This is a 2-in-1. It has a pencil and then a tinted brow gel on the opposite end. I mentioned in the beginning of the video, a subscriber mentioned this brand to me and loving one of their eyebrow pencils. I wasn't sure which one. I think it could be this one or maybe it's a different option, but I thought this would be kind of cool to try because it's 2 products in one. On the top you have the twist up pencil, and then at the bottom you have your tinted brow gel that actually has some little fibers to thicken and volumize the brows. I want to say that there was 2 options and I went with the light medium versus medium dark because the medium dark did look quite dark, where it would probably be too much for my brows. So I went with a lighter shade just to play it safe. So I'm going to fast forward this bit. I'm going to fill in with the pencil and then go in with the brow gel. And as I'm applying this product to the brows, I can tell that the formula seems to have a tad bit of a waxy consistency, which is good because it kind of helps get those brow hairs going in the direction that you want them to. It's not enough to provide a hold, but I feel like there's a little bit of something in this formula, a little bit more grip to it. I'm going to take a spoolie and kind of comb this through really quickly. And honestly, I'm glad that I bought the light medium shade because this is what that looks like, and I think it's a really good match for me. So I'm going to do the brow gel to show you what that looks like. I feel like I have to tread softly for a couple of reasons. Number one, when you pull this wand out, it is pretty gooped up, so you do have to wipe off quite a bit because that's a lot of product. So that's kind of a design flaw there, but it's something you can easily fix by just kind of wiping off the applicator on the edge of the container or wiping it off onto a paper towel. But I'm going to just lightly go in with some of this to set my brows. And the formula is really nice. I have no complaints. I'm not sure who they're trying to dupe with this product. I have to look into that and do some more research, but I think this is great. I think it works just nice, and the color is also something that's doable for me. So I'm going to do this other brow, and I'll be right back. Brows are done and filled. I did have to pull in a clear brow gel to set them because this one did not hold my brows in place very well. And I also think that this color is quite dark for being the lightest option available. I do think that there is a need for improvement as far as shade range is concerned for this line because I do think that this was a little dark and the brow gel didn't hold. But aside from that, I do think that the product formula went on very well, did its job, and it was easy to use. So my only complaint is that the gel doesn't have enough hold for me personally. I'm really floored. I really am. I don't, okay? The instant contour. They're coming after it. I'm telling you, these are just too close. This is the Hollywood Contour Wand from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the MCO version. The components, even like the ridge on the cap, is identical. Okay? Minor differences, black exterior with a little bit of a clear window there so you can see it. I feel like they had to do something to not be so exact and precise. But I see you, MCO. I see what you're trying to do here. This is the light medium. So I think this, again, is a product that only comes in 2 shades. It even has the classic on and off twist that you can do to keep your product from overflowing and coming out. So let's twist this. And that puffy tip. Let me just show you my Charlotte Tilbury one. Mine is so dirty because I use it often. And look at that. It's one of those that's kind of messy, but they look the same. So let's give it a good old squeeze slowly to start working that product up. There we go. That's so satisfying when you get that first initial bit. I'm going to just do a little bit more. There we go. And I'm just going to dot this on. And I'm going to do just a little bit to kind of bronze, not necessarily contour with this because this shade does seem quite warm. I've got it dotted on my face. I'm going to do one side at a time, and I'm going to use my Complexion Dual Brush from e.l.f. to blend this in. And I'm only doing one side to see how this formula blends. I don't know if it sets quickly, so I don't want to run into some trouble with blending, which I'm not. Okay. Great. It's blending and it's showing up nicely. It's giving me a bit of a bronze effect to the skin. Easily blending into the base product that I use, that Flawless Glow product. Let's add a touch more, just a little bit more. But this is looking really nice, giving me exactly what I'm looking for, a bit of color, a little bronze. Okay, I want to add just a little bit more. Let's try to build this up a little bit, just a touch, and see what happens. You know, we're doing some research here. We're kind of figuring this out together, so why not go for it? That blended in very easily. I have no complaints. I think it's a great product. It's thin, it's light, blends really nicely, doesn't disrupt what's underneath, doesn't look patchy. It's checking off all my boxes. So again, impressed. Let's add another little check mark to my list of how many times I'm going to say that. Next up for blush, I picked up the Soft Matte Beauty Wand in Peach Bellini from MCo, and we already know they're coming after Charlotte. This is the Matte Beauty Wands. These are the Beauty Blush Wands, actually. Pillow Talk is the shade that I own. I don't have the shade match for the MCo to compare. I have been kind of going back and forth whether or not I want to buy another one of these from Charlotte in that peachy tone because it looks really pretty. And these have been out for quite some time, so it's one of those things where I just never got around to it, and I may not even need to with this one here. And again, it's that same component. It's exactly the same. You twist it. Let's put it to on. Let's get that flow going here. Well, that came up much faster than the bronzer. Same exact component. Exact. And let's do 2 dots. And I'm going to go back into that e.l.f. brush and just see what this is like. That's pretty. It's actually a really nice shade. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit more. It's a thin, kind of lightweight formula, so I did 3 more dots. And I feel like it's kind of clinging right here, so maybe I should add a little bit more right underneath and see what happens. Could just be my brush, but something to note. I have to look at that the next time I go to use it. But so far, I mean, it's a nice, pretty peach shade, and I like it. So that blush blended pretty nicely. I do have just a spot right here that is a little bit kind of patchy. It's giving me some trouble. I've tried to work with it, and I feel like the more I add, it's not really doing anything. I do have another blush, though, that I'm going to try layering. This may look kind of crazy, but who cares? We're trying this out. I have to try this, okay? I saw the Glow Up pH Powder Blush on their website, and I thought, this is coming home with me, for sure. This is the Rosy Pink. We all know this is trying to dupe the Dior ones that has that clear plastic window with the silver trim around it. I mean, they're bold, aren't they? The only difference is that it says MCo kind of embossed in there, and with these lights, it's kind of washing this out. But this looks to be very similar in tone to the Dior. I don't have the new Dior ones. I think they're reformulated, but I don't have that formula at all in my collection. I've been wanting to try it, but I think that Dior blush is, what, 40 bucks, maybe a little bit more, and this was just, you know, a fraction of that. So I thought, let's just try this out. This may be great, it may not be, but if this works out, do I need to buy the Dior one? Probably not. So I'm going to apply just a little bit of this powder blush right over this peachy one that I already applied to kind of sort of set it. Also see what this color looks like and see what happens. It says pH adjusting, so we'll see if it changes how this looks, and maybe it'll help with this patchiness on this side. That looks really pretty, a really bright kind of rosy pink shade. I definitely feel like I need to blend this down a little bit and tone it down, so I'm going to go back into my damp beauty sponge and just kind of go over everything. I want to jump back into that pressed powder again to set my face and kind of tone down this blush. It's looking a little bit intense, and I think it's just because the layering of this rosy color with the peach and then having that pH adjusting type of quality to it. I'm not sure if it's making it a little bit more bold, but nonetheless, I'm going to tone that down, going back into that pressed powder with a Sigma F11 brush. I'm going to set, again, some more on my forehead, right in through here, and see how this sort of blurs. This is kind of what I would do with the Charlotte Tilbury. Go underneath my blush, just kind of setting right through the pore area and seeing if it can actually do the same thing, blur and diffuse that look of the pores and just kind of make everything look a little bit softer, more perfected. I'm going to switch to a fluffy brush again, going back to that Ulta one with some more of that powder, and I'm just going to go right over that blush and see if it helps tone this down. And I think, yeah, I think it's doing exactly what I wanted it to do. So yay. So this is where we're at right now with the complexion. I do enjoy the way it looks, and I think it's looking a lot better now that I added that last bit of the Miracle Flawless powder over the top of everything. I'm definitely not as shiny and glowy as I was before, and it definitely toned down that rosiness from the blush. You can still see that pink on the cheeks, but it's not as bold as it was. So I do like it, and I do think that it softened the look of my pores and made everything just look a little bit more airbrushed. So I do think it's pretty good. So we have a few more products to try out. I have some lip products, some eye products. I picked up one of their shadow sticks. This is just the basic matte shadow stick in a dark brown. This I think could be a dupe for maybe Bobbi Brown or the Laura Mercier Caviar sticks. While I was browsing the eye products, I noticed that their Extend Lash is a tubing formula that seems to be pretty popular. It's under their best sellers, and I thought I'd give it a shot as well. I will show you some up close shots. I like the white with that silver packaging, and that's what the wand looks like. I'm not sure who they're trying to dupe, if this is trying to be like a Thrive Cosmetics type of product since it's a tubing formula. I also did pick up an eyeliner. This is the dual-ended Pro Eyeliner in chocolate. I think what they're going after is the Makeup by Mario. So they have a very similar packaging with that white exterior component, clear caps versus black ones from Makeup by Mario. But what I have enjoyed is that the Makeup by Mario gives you a brush. Now the brush is different on both of them. So the Makeup by Mario is a flat brush, and the MCo is more of an angled brush to kind of help smudge and create a kind of smoky effect or a cat eye or wing, which I think is great. It's helpful to have these types of brushes, which is why I enjoyed the one from Makeup by Mario. I like this formula, the high-end version. I think it's creamy and blends really beautifully. And I have two shades, staple colors that I reach for every day. So I ordered the chocolate in the MCo to see what that would be like. I'm going to start tightlining first, and that went on with ease, no complaints. I'm gonna go in now with the matte shadow stick. The shade that I bought was Deep Cocoa. I chose one that could be really easy and simple for every day. I'm gonna just kind of smudge this. Whoa, this is super creamy, really close to the root of my lash. And then I'm gonna take a brush. This is a BK Beauty 210, and I'm gonna soften this out. I'm going to switch to a firm shader brush from Sigma to help me blend a little bit more and soften this edge out. And I may need to go in with my finger actually and just kind of work this back and forth, maybe picking up some more product onto the brush and then just kind of patting that and see if I can smudge this just to create a simple eyeshadow look. So I do need to blend this out, but I do want to point out that the eyeliner that I put in my waterline is already transferring to my lower waterline. So it may not be one that is as long wearing as the actual Makeup by Mario ones. I'm trying to blend this side. I have a little issue right in through here where it's not blending. I don't know if it's the shadow stick. This one doesn't seem too bad. It could just be me, but I do think that it's good to kind of do one eye at a time and then kind of go into the second eye with this product because it does set pretty quickly. I hope it doesn't increase. I did prep my lids, by the way, with some eyeshadow primer, so that should help. But I do like that deep, rich cocoa shade, and I chose that because I didn't order the Laura Mercier Caviar Stick in Cocoa. I think it's what it's called, the dark brown. I've been wanting it for some time, but I don't really need more shadow sticks, so I thought, let me just give this a go. This could very well satisfy that need and want for a dark brown shadow stick, and I feel like I can use that again. I just need to kind of work a little bit faster. And the eyeliner, I do feel like it is transferring a little bit to my lower waterline. It's not the end of the world, but it's something to note that this isn't going to stay in the upper waterline and not transfer. If you're looking for something like that, I would just say skip the liner. But it was creamy, it was pigmented, and it was easy to apply. I'm going to take just a little bit more of that liner and go right at the root of my upper lashes, really close. And let's try smudging it out with that little angled brush. I do like that they added that though. I will have to give them credit for that because that's a nice little tool. Again, it's something that is easy to use where you can just scribble this on or draw on a line and smudge it. You don't have to bring in another brush, other tools. It's just all in one, which is nice. I think what I want to do for the lower lashes is take some of that shadow stick onto my brush. This is that 210 brush from BK Beauty. And I'm just going to take just a little bit of that product on the very tip of the brush and then smudging that right at the root of my lower lashes just to add a little bit of color, because I do feel like it was bare, like it was missing something. And that is blending out very nicely on my lower lashes. So if this doesn't crease on me and doesn't move around, I think we've got a winner here. Now let's go into the Extend Lash tubing formula to kind of finish this eye look off. I'm really excited about this one. I hope it's a good tubing formula. It was on their best sellers, so I'm assuming that it is one that they sell a lot and people are really liking this. This is one coat of the mascara. Do you see what it's done to my lashes? This has nothing going on here, and this one, everything is lifted. It's defined. It's got some length, volume, thickness. Wow. So that mascara is an immediate yes. I love the way it made my lashes look, especially after that first coat. I was honestly blown away. I will be using this again, and I absolutely love the way my lashes look right now. It's all just kind of fanned out. Very thick, very long, voluminous lashes. It's checking off all my boxes, and so I'm so thrilled and happy that I added that to my order, and I can see why it's their bestseller mascara, because it is really, really good. All right, so now let's clear some space here. I've got to go into my lip products. I've got a couple products. So let's start with the lip liner. This is the Perfect Pout Lip Liner in Cheeky Chat. So, do we see what they're trying to do here? They're going after my Charlotte. I love my Charlotte Tilbury lip cheat lip liners. They're some of my very favorites. Cheeky Chat looked like it would be a shade that would be kind of similar to the Pillow Talk, which is a very famous color for the Charlotte Tilbury line. So we are going to line our lips with this pencil, and the component looks almost identical, you guys. Like, what? Minus the shade being a little bit off. This is the Charlotte. It's a little bit darker, but I mean, come on. So here is the Cheeky Chat lip liner. This formula went on with ease. It's very pigmented, very creamy, and I have, again, no complaints on that. And now for the lipstick. This is the Cheeky Chat lipstick to match the lip liner. This is the MCo, and here's the Charlotte. It's very obvious what they're trying to do. I have tons of Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks, and they're some of my favorite. I have like, 7 or 8 different lipsticks. I love her formula, and I even noticed how close this MCo one is to the Charlotte, because the lipstick bullets, the Pillow Talk 2 Medium is the one that I have here. This is Charlotte Tilbury. They have an indentation on the side of the lipstick bullet, and MCo has done the exact same thing. Do you see that? The slight indentation on the side of the lipstick bullet is almost identical. I can't even. What do you think of this lip combo? I actually really like the way this looks. I am very impressed, and I keep saying that. I'm honestly just blown away at how good these formulas are and how close they are to the high-end product that they're trying to dupe. Here's some swatches, which is MCo and which is Charlotte Tilbury. Again, it's hard to tell. And if I wouldn't be paying attention to the swatches that I'm doing right now, I wouldn't be able to tell you which is which. Like, that's just wild and insane. So this here is Cheeky Chat. And then this is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk, Cheeky Chat lip liner, and the Pillow Talk lip liner. It's a hair of a difference between the lipsticks. Honestly, I cannot even believe it. Like I said before, how is this even legal that they can do this? Packaging, colors, everything is almost exact. I'm at a loss for words. I really am. Last up is another lip product. This is the Summer Days Tinted Lip Oil. I decided to add this into my order. This is the shade Keep Dreaming, which is a really pretty bright pink shade. And when I saw this, I kind of started thinking of who they're trying to dupe. Something about it says Summer Fridays to me. Summer Fridays has a lip oil that's kind of new to the market and new to their range that looks very similar with that kind of frosted clear component and the colored cap. It might be different. I think Summer Fridays is probably like more of a beigey type of color on the cap. I'm not picking up much of a scent. Again, I'm kind of stuffed up, so I can't really smell very well, but I don't really pick up anything. So I thought I'd try this last lip product and use a lip brush to kind of top this lipstick formula off. I do like a gloss, not that I need to with this lipstick. This lipstick is very comfortable on its own, but I just want to try this last product that I have in my desk here that is part of this line. And just try it, see what happens. This is the Keep Dreaming lip oil over the top. I like that gloss, that shine that it gave my lips, which I love a good gloss. This is a lip oil, so it is a bit of a thinner formula, but I like the shine and that kind of glass look to the lips. And I think it's a nice little topper to a lipstick. And I do like the way these combos of products are looking. So the lip liner, the lipstick, and lip oil, I can definitely see myself using this again, absolutely. And I like the way it feels. It's a little bit thinner. Keep in mind it's a lip oil, so it's not going to feel as thick and nourishing or hydrating as a gloss or some type of lip balm type of formula. Kind of slippery, so we'll see how this kind of wears, but I love these colors together, and I think that this is going to be a great gloss for me to wear every day. And that kind of cooling sensation is very pleasant. It's not burning, it's not uncomfortable, so I just wanted to point that out. And the only thing that I want to do next is use a setting spray. I didn't buy one from MCo, so I'm going to just use my L'Oreal Infallible. Or should I say, let's do a little bit of hairspray, because that's what that is. I swear, it's exactly like spraying hairspray on your face. And that, my friends, is the full face of MCo Beauty products. What do you think? So far, I'm very impressed. I know you're sick of me saying that. I'm impressed, but truly, I'm literally blown away. I'm blown away because I cannot believe that these formulas are actually good. I cannot even believe that they're duping some of my very favorite products, and they're pretty daggone close to the original. And I'm also blown away at how this is even possible. How can they get away with doing this? Because it's literally copying the exact same thing. It's like mind-blowing, right? But at the end of it all, I like the way my makeup looks. I think the only thing that I would do differently is something with eyeshadow on the eyes, because I'm so used to wearing eyeshadow that I feel like I'm missing out on something. But honestly, this is an entire look. Like, absolutely everything worked out really great, blended well, and I'm gonna use these again. Like, what is happening here? I hope that this video was helpful. Thanks so much for being here, for watching. I'm going to list everything down in the description box for you in case you want to try some of these for yourself. Subscribe for more videos like this in the future. I post every Tuesday and every Friday. And you can also follow me on Instagram. My username pops up here on the screen. We can be friends there and chat there. Thanks for being here, for being you. I will talk to you very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.